What going on? What going on, everybody? David Mitchell here, and up PU89 it passing, or not 89, PU98. So welcome back to Fan to Train episode 67, Drain Galore 14, and oh wow, it's been crazy.
Oh, that train.
We'll probably get a daughter train in about an hour if it's running on time. Oop. Got that clean, but got a little bit on mixed feelings with the two train magazines for Ditma. Kind of mix on them, but let's see how good they are. If y'all know what I mean. And yes, I think I got done taking a shower. So that probably reason why you guys probably seeing why my hair is real shiny. But let's begin with Model Railroad news. They already got something interesting up here that I think is cool. The GP, the GP 30s. Ooh, if they had it in sale, I would definitely buy it if it wasn't in scale. But god damn, it sucked that they don't. And look at that, Garden Trains, which did company been around for a long time anyway. They make good model trains, that for sure. And look at that. Got all the tip book is about 98 pages. So yeah. Let's get started. So yeah, look at it. Oh cool. It's all on HO, but hopefully we get them in scouts up. And also they're 1776. The Spirit of our Armed Forces, which y'all know I caught that locomotive a couple of times. So, yeah. Now, I hope one day I would catch some of these when they're working properly. And also, it in-scale, though. A Kato in-scale train set. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty cool. So, that's something that is going to be interesting. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, they got an in-scale center beam car. That is something I do want to eventually get. It's some in-scale center beams. But that down the line. They got a South American version of that. With the South American version of the FDL 39, for people who don't know. Also, they got some interesting locomotive right here, which they're pretty interesting for what they was. They're crazy. Because they are hydraulic powered locomotive, which they use hydraulics. It's kind of cool. They are popular in Europe, but not here in the U.S. So, yeah. Also, that tanker car, I want to find some in road numbers. So, yeah. Also, find a couple of D in scale, which those I would use for scrap, which if y'all don't know, I do already have one car in scale that look like that. That would be good for scrap, which it's something I would do. So, yeah. That's cool. Ironically, a good amount of these suckers survived, into press racing. It's cool in a way. They got them auto racks. Now look at that. That I think are cool. You know, if they had them in scale, I would buy these up. But they don't. It kind of sucks. But they do have some of these, which are cool. Which are E units. For people who don't know, the E units made it all the way up to Conrail era. But a lot of them are now in preservation or in some private stuff. So, yeah. But, yeah, look at that page. They got the Norfolk Southern stuff right here on in scale. The two gondolas and the covered hopper and about 4 of the box cars I would do, but nothing else because D2, D1, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7D would be good for my type of layout because they're set in modern era. So, yeah. You know, it is a little difficult holding the boys. Almost time for me to get my hair cut, but when it's eventually time, I'll do it. Ooh. Cotton belt. Now, this is cool. I would get something in scale. Same with the box cars. That. Oh, it is in scale. So that it could. So yeah. Look at this. That's cool right there. But yeah. Ooh, the SW 15,000s. I would, if they had one of the in scale at right for it, I would have bought it in a heartbeat. Like literally in a heartbeat. Because those, I think they're cool. Look at this. This right here, pretty cool. Ooh, this I think cool right here. This locomotive. Like, it's part of a tourist railroad now. It's a 65-ton of blue. Or technically, it's a 65-ton diesel switcher. It looked pretty cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, look at that. I would not mind having that cool model. Now, we all know that this railroad is owned by Genesee in Wyoming now, which, ouch. It kind of sucks, but, you know, it's part of a tourist railroad, if y'all don't know. Heck, I'm not going to lie. It would do fantastic for a freaking train sim route. Or not train sim world route. The Maryland Midland Railway. Or Railroad. because it got pretty good interest in locomotives, and it got pretty interest in operation. Like heck, I'm live streaming, but yeah.
Excuse me.
But yeah. But look at that. But I'll be honest, now that I think about it, that another route that I'm probably going to go deep upon in another route, like the Maryland Midland Railroad, that would be good. But look, that cool. Yeah, got the military loads right here. Look at that. But yeah. Like, if y'all don't know, I caught a couple of military loads on a train about 2 weeks ago on my old phone. But really soon you guys are going to be seeing video from my brand new phone. Hey, Vel, grab my new phone. Hi, Vel. Grab my new phone.
Huh?
Grab my new phone. New phone. But
Oh my god! Whoa!
But yeah, look at it. This is what I'm going to be using for rail fanning from now on. Brand spanking new. So yeah, you guys are going to be seeing a whole bunch of rail fanning in a way. But yeah, but look at this. That's pretty cool. But that will be, and ironic for a video vlog will be on Vel's birthday too, so that's gonna be odd. But yeah. Here it's make it away about a hopper with that cool in a way. Like if they have an in scale and undecorated, I would use them for my little short one, like have maybe 2 to 3 of them to do for the industrial park. But yeah. But yeah, no, look at this. Not cool. Even though DIT 1 don't have any track plans, like I done one through DIT 1, it's still good with a variety of different locomotive and stuff. Oops. But wow. So check that out. Pretty cool in a way. Let me adjust myself. And then you got some Pacific Northwest stuff right here, which is cool. Now, another one that I would love to find an in scale, like if they have the in scale, I'll be up for it. Oh yeah, they are an in scale. Never mind. But yeah. 1 minute, everyone. Gotta adjust myself. Gotta adjust myself right here. There we go. But yeah, look at that.
Talladega or Johnson. Oof.
Oh, Bell watching Tar Heels and
No, it's a Creighton and DePaul.
or Creighton and DePaul.
College basketball.
College basketball. But yeah. Now here another cool one that I think, and an O skill, but you know, still looking cool. You know. I remember when the railroads went through that phase You don't see DJ's Harley anymore. It's funny. That little piece right there, you don't see them Harley anymore. They were supposed to help streamline trains, and I'm talking about intermodal trains. With Flintine, they don't really work. Like literally, you don't see them on freight trains anymore. But yeah. That's some cool stuff right here too. Look at that. That cool. Ooh. Did night building. Heck, if they had the in scale, I would find it and buy it. But they don't. At a hotel. Look at that. We're coming up on the back. There we go. Sorry, I had an itch on my nose. But yeah. Another cool building. Ooh. Under the Union Station too. And ooh, they do got something like that in scale, but you know, I'm doing an industrial layout for my model railroad and ideal. But yeah. And look at it, a train board game. It's something I found cool. Train board game. If I get that, I'll be on it. Me and some of the guys will play it, you know? Like, if I ever get it, me and the guys will play it on live stream one of these days. If I do ever get that game. So, that will be interesting in a way. Ride the rail. Like, literally. Like, it called Ride the Rails. Or, yeah, I'm right. But, yeah. So, it'll be interesting. Look at it. Get that cool. Then you have that's still cool right here, and another in-scale Amtrak set. To be sad, these things are going soon, so yeah, it's going to suck knowing that those are going to go. So IRP in a way, if y'all know what I mean. So yikes. So that kind of is sad. But, you know, stuff like that eventually do have to go. Sorry, I'm still looking at my new phone. Just saying, I'm still loving it. Now, Discord are always going to be on my tablet. I might just keep Discord off my phone, but, you know, only time will change. You know what? I might even put Discord on my phone. I did that. I got to regulate how much memory I have because, you know, to have the same amount on my tablet, and that I got to pay attention to anyway. Because if I don't, I'm going to have a hard time. If y'all know what I mean. So, yeah. 1 minute, everyone. There we go. There we go. I'll make sure it's up on your phone. It's clean. But, yeah. Now, let's get to this one. And I am gonna call this one out. There's only one good train layout in here. One. And that I'll be on about. I already looked through some of them, if y'all know what I mean. But let's get started. There is some cool artwork too, but you know, everything is what it is. Fan it on and it blowing it, but yeah. There we go. So you're all cool now. If they had one of the in scale, which they don't, I would want to get them, but they don't, you know?
Mhm.
Because if y'all remember, I'm an in scale person. I for in scale, you got a room, but yeah. But look at all the cool stuff on this page. You got an Alco right here, Alco D15 or RSD15. And it in scale, that cool. You got an O scale tank car dating back to the 1928, which that not even my era, but it still looks cool. You got an 8O scale F40PH right here. Ooh, you got the a locomotive in the Central Maine and Quebec right there. There with, I think that's cool, RIP that railroad. With that at D40.2, at D40.3, at D40.2F cow body. Then you got the GP40.2W with a Y cab variant in scale right here. That right there I would probably want to get if I ever had a chance. But yeah. Also, that cool that it spread to here. You got them coal cars right here. You're like, if y'all don't know, I'm not a big fan of coal cars. I'd rather do the other thing, so yeah. But yeah. Coal is not king for railroad anymore, the intermodal now. Take that out. But yeah, but it's cool right here. Like, literally. Got the light stuff, so yeah. And here, the one to the layout that I'm talking about, the good one. Before I show the layout, let's look at that. But yeah. Now here's the layout, and let's look at it from the side. It worked pretty good. Like this, I can modernize. Like a train layout like this, you can modernize when you think about it. Like literally, it's something that I would ironically do if people don't know. But yeah. But it's still looking cool. Just thinking about this type is a pretty cool concept for what it is. But yeah. But it's set in the early 1960s. Oops. There we go. I kind of knocked that off. But meaning transiting from steam to diesel, or like toward the end of steam and beginning of diesel. or like when these will make itself fully prevalent. So yeah. Oop. Oh, I know. Oopsie. That was my mistake. But yeah, got some cool photos. Now, it's from one of my favorite layout, if y'all remember, which I am still going to praise it in 1 minute. Let me bring it out. Because I made sure I had it under here. Because I will always praise it. 1 minute. Oops. Here it is. It from this issue from the beginning of the year. Like, I'm not even bluffing. I'll be honest, it's from one of my favorite track plans. And look at that. That I like. If they had an in scale, that would even be even better. But it 8-0 scale train layout. Like, literally, the shape of it, I would do. But it's so cool. Now, let me put that back under here. But it's the same layout. But talk about how they built it and everything. Heck, I might see if they have the video about it on YouTube. Because I would not mind watching the video if y'all know what I mean. But yeah. Belly poo. Eating your booty. Oh.
Hey.
I just roasted you. I just roasted Bill. But yeah, look at it. I think cool too, you know. It'd be pretty cool to thinking about this stuff right here. Now I will bring that up, y'all. I am planning to get more in-scale rolling stock. You know, I'm not done buying that. I'm probably going to get about 15, maybe 16 more freight cars, maybe a couple more locomotives, but after that, I'll probably work on getting more track and then eventually buildings. But yeah, look at this. Now, this one is shorter at 74, 75 pages. So, yeah. And here, the layout, I do not think it could, even though it is an in scale. Like, why did the in scale layout have to be the crappy one? Like, it looked nice, but the track plan is terrible. Like, here's the photo. The photos are look good. It's only for photography and photos. But look at that. Only cheat in the dog bone. That's going to get born real fast. And I mean real fast. Because you only got one. And it a branch line, you know? It's set in the what era? I guess they don't have the era on it, but I know it's set sometime in 1920 and 30s. maybe I would probably 50 to be more exact, but I think that layout had more potential than it had. But yeah, but look at it. It's also cool. LNG or LGB, which are good. Yeah. That and ends, or not in scale, HO scale, if I think cool. We got an in-scale hopper right here. An in-scale warehouse. Now this right here, I will buy if I ever get a chance. An in-scale warehouse, and it looked like you can have freight service to it. Like it looks something that would fit right on the type of layout I'm doing. It's gonna be an industrial park, but yeah. Also, one thing that I'm planning to do in the industrial park with is a transfo flow facility. I get covered hoppers and tank cars full of grain and other stuff, or more than likely get unloaded. But yeah. Now, this right here is a cool looking photo. It in HO scale, but if they have that warehouse, that would be pretty good too. Like I would not mind having that warehouse in scale. That I would want. Because the more variety when it comes to stuff like this would be even better. But look at alt photo. That looked cool. Also here at the art page, and we're looking like by the yard. Winter is coming. I was really hoping you could finally put in those new frame windows. No, not to worry, dear. That piece will hold at least another 2 years. Yeah, like literally. Winter is coming. I was really hoping you could finally put in the new window frame windows, or like new frame windows to be exact. Not to worry, dear. That plan will hold at least another 2 years. Hey Val, read it. Read this.
Winter is coming. I was really hoping you could finally put in those new front windows. Not to worry, dear. That plastic will hold this another 2 years.
Funny, am I right? Then we're coming toward the lap, but that's still cool. And then you have the new in-scale set. Well, I do think that is cool. And then you have extra that would be good for that set too. But yeah, but that was Zipmump. To be honest, Zipmump Water did have one good track plan with the first one I told you. The other one that they had on there could have had a little bit more work. I am doing a little criticism, but a little criticism doesn't hurt. Sorry, that to help. It's pollen season for people who don't know. And for people who do not like pollen, Yeah, at a bad time. No, stop back dumb tablet. I did not mean Instagram. I'm going to Discord. Alright, let's go to Discord. Oof, now that we got those done, I can readjust myself onto the bed. No reason I sat down there for the magazines. But, yeah. Let's see. And my nose is watering. Let's see who online because it also, for people who don't know, it's spring break. Yep, spring break is here. So, yeah. That's up and that'll. It looks like Brightline is, probably either sleeping or family is dragging him on stuff, if y'all know what I mean. But, yeah. Yeah. Look like the most of the crew probably sleeping unless the Carter Relfin and not online. Let's see, Gord is busy because y'all don't know, Gord was doing a train ride last time we were live streaming last week. Hey Gord! Hey Gord!
Oh. Sorry, what?
Gord, there's another line that I think that would be good for Train Sim World. Do you know what it would be?
Bright lines.
Not that it's a short line railroad that have track speeds up to 50 mile per hour and it in Maryland.
They're not adding any short lines.
No, it called the Maryland Midlands Railroad.
I don't think they're adding short lines. They don't even have all the class 1s in yet, never mind class 2s.
Well, they got Union Pacific, BNSF, Norfolk Southern.
If they added a feature that lets people make their own routes, it'll probably happen.
Dude, I'll be honest, it'll be a miracle if they add, stuff to, Train Sim World, that way you can build your own route.
I just want a concept editor for custom modes.
Like, I know that they do have the custom editor for Train Sim World where you can, set up, stuff for the routes. But
but they don't even have a concept editor. It's play with pre-built whatever.
I know. But eventually, I hope eventually they said, bring, a route builder, because Train Sim World got a route builder,
Mm-hmm.
Like literally. And then you also, got Train with a Z. You know what I mean, Gorge?
Yeah.
And thing is that Train with a Z got a mobile version called Train Simulator 3, which they're with graphic on that and for great, and it ironically it for Androids and Apple,
Yeah.
And thing is, it looked good, and it if Dovetail don't get their act together, they're going to be far behind the competition. You know what I mean?
They don't really have competition because they're like focused on like ultra realism, and no one else really does that.
The only other train simulator that does, or technically the only two other train simulator that do ultra realism, is Train Z and Derail Valley.
What was the second one?
Derail Valley.
I'll look it up.
Dude.
Train to the Z isn't realism. It's more of like...
No. Derail Valley is pretty realistic. I'm not even bluffing. It makes Train Sim World child play. I'm not even kidding. Look up videos of it. You got locomotive that will actually sway and wobble like in real life. The track is all wobbly like you would see in real life, you know? Literally, it got so much up that Train Sim World don't have. I'm not even bluffing.
Train Sim has that stuff, but it's not as like
realistic.
focused.
Well, Derail Valley, it will blow your mind at some of the stuff that is in it. I'm not even joking.
I think the mods good to it makes it good. I don't think the base game is that good.
Actually, the base game is getting ready to be released, and the base game is even better than, the beta version that they had out for a couple years now,
Yeah.
Like, literally.
The graphics are okay. I think, again, Train Sim World's mostly focused on graphics.
Train Sim World is focused on graphic, but, Derail Valley is focused on realism and physics,
Yeah.
Which...
My friend just held it going.
But I want to ask, how was that train ride last week?
It's good.
Dude, me and Brett, I was meant to call the group. Instead, I called you while you were on the train.
Yeah, so I was like, I'm in the quiet card.
I know, that second time went by accident because I was trying to do the group call.
Yeah.
Because we were inviting Chicago Rail fan in. But... instead of calling the group, I called you by accident, and I hung up really quick saying, oh dear, did not mean that.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Yeah, I was super tired, too. I like doing a little bit of a nap there.
I know. Hey, speaking of that, I'm going to ask, what do you think about Brightline testing their trains at 125 miles per hour this week?
They haven't done it yet.
They actually started 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know, but they're increasing the speed. I think they did like 40 or something today. They started at like 25. I think they're just going up by 10 every time.
I know, but the airlines down there are freaking out. Like, I heard some people already quitting because, they know something that's going to happen,
What's the travel time between Orlando Airport and Miami Central?
Orlando Airport, let's just say by Amtrak, or not by Amtrak, but by Brightline. Gordon,
Yeah.
Well, the ride is going to take 2 hours and 30 minutes. But...
my access on Train Sim World's being goofy. What end up 30? There's no one in front of me. I looked at the map.
Alright. But,
wait, are those 2 hours from Orlando to Fort Lauderdale? I mean, I could be wrong. Maybe they upgraded more track and whatever.
They did upgrade more track. They've been doing a lot of upgrading, from Miami to Palm Beach and all that, and they've been upgrading farther down. They've been bringing up the speed, so when they start doing the trains from Miami to Orlando, it will only take you about 2 hours and 30 minutes,
Yeah.
But
I thought that seemed kind of short. That is kind of fast.
But ironically, the airlines are freaking out because even though the flight is about 34 to 35 minutes, you'll be waiting 2 hours in the airport to get on the plane. But from Miami to Miami International Airport, that's about an hour drive from downtown. It technically a 20.
Yeah, well, let me think.
If you did lollygag until it almost time, it's not going to work. Trust me. They got it strict around here with that, you know. Oh, being at my Lionel train coffee going on. But it take about 2 hours to wait for the plane. Then it take about another 15 minutes to get, about 10 to 15 minutes to get from the runway to flying altitude. Then another 15 minutes from flying altitude to get down into the airport.
Yeah, but there's so many factors for, like, what's the word? There's so many factors into that. You have how long the line is at the TSA thing.
I know. I'm factoring everything
what
in.
way the wind blowing for takeoff? Like, you can't judge it. Some days it will be faster. Some days it will be slower. Like, you could speed to the airport in 20 minutes to your plane and only take 5 minutes on the to the runway. Or again, you could have like what you said. It takes forever.
I know. Saying is that people, heck, when Vela come into Charlton, it was hell for her, you know.
Yeah.
Like first time Vela come in here back in 2020 to move down here with me, to move down here to Charlton to be with me. It was hell for her at the airport.
It's an hour drive to Miami Airport.
Like, in an hour drive anyway, you know? Like...
it says if you want to start from Miami Central, which I think is what Amtrak stops at.
No, I'm talking about downtown Miami where the Brightline station is. Like, I looked and if you have bad enough luck, it will take an hour, you know?
They have the people mover. Where does this go? Oh, wait, no, they have the commuter station at the airport.
I know.
Alright,
But if you remember from Dimitri's video from almost 6 years ago,
it's a 10-minute drive to the Brightline station, or it's 35 minutes by a combination of the light rail service, the commuter train, and a different commuter train line.
mm-hmm.
You can get to that drive in 10 minutes. It's not that long.
I know, but you got to factor everything in, you know? But the airlines are freaking out anyway because, let's be honest, no one would be getting, you know, their job grabbed by the TSA, you know?
Yeah.
Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
No one would be getting, you know, violated by TSA and said, oh, we got to check up your butt. Am I right?
Yes.
Oh, by the way, Gord, I got a new phone.
What phone do you get?
You know that new phone that Verizon been promoting from Samsung?
Oh.
The Galaxy A13? That's what I got. I got the Galaxy A13.
It's an hour flight from Orlando to Miami. That was only 30 minutes.
Huh.
Okay, so it's an hour. So you're up to an hour and 10. And let's say you're a somewhat skilled traveler and it takes you 45 minutes to go through the airport. Because you get there, you're cutting it close, but you know that you have TSA pre-check and whatever the hell factor that is. Let's say you have some good circumstance on both sides. And the train's running perfectly on time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's an hour and 55 minutes. For an unskilled traveler, it'd probably be like 2 hours and 20. So the airplane's still gonna win, but as long as Brightline keeps their prices cheap, it should be okay.
Like literally, the thing is, even though that the Brightline prices are cheap, that freaking out the airline because let's be honest, you can spend an extra hour on a train and still get to your destination a lot cheaper and save a lot of money, or spend the disease out of your butt. Like out of your butt plug and, end up in your destination,
Well, One more time, I didn't hear you.
Like, I'm talking about you can, save some money and, ride an extra hour by train, or you can spend the money out of your butt like a butt plug, like disease, like Jesus, to get on it quicker, with kind of funny,
Or it's a 78-hour walk. You gotta do it for free.
I know. That's funny.
Orlando to Miami Great Line travel time. It's 2 hours to West Palm Beach, is what I thought. So it's about 2 hours and 45 to Miami.
Mm-hmm. But to be honest, everything is said in...
It's an extra hour. As long as your train's on time.
I know. But I'll be honest about Brightline is bringing in the renewed competition and also new business. You know what I mean?
If they had truly high-speed rail, the airline would probably be more on, like, so Texas Central, like, most of the people against it were previous, like, airline people, so they were against it because it would actually compete with the airlines.
I know.
Brightline, not so much, but again, if they keep their prices cheap, they should be fine.
That's true, and if they get their way and they upgrade that to 150, maybe even 180...
We'll have to order all new trains, and that's not going to happen for a long time.
I know. Probably not going to happen for another 20 years. Like, to be honest, it might happen 10, 20 years from now, and they decide...
Other problem is Florida's really prone to hurricanes, so the electrification is going to cost a lot of money because they're going to need a hurricane-proof everything.
That's true. Or they can do what, Japan does with theirs,
Yeah, those are earthquakes. That's different because there isn't like flooding and stuff.
But let's not forget that Japan get hit by typhoons too, man. They get hit a lot by typhoons.
I think their problem's more tsunamis, which
No.
Thing, but all their high speed lines are inland, so they don't have a problem. Florida East Coast is obviously just right on the coast, so if a hurricane comes, you're kind of screwed.
True. Or they can do like one of the new, like in Europe, like they have a diesel electric locomotive that can go 2 speeds 180 in Europe.
No, what train is it?
I can't remember. It's something in France. It's either France or Spain,
France's high speed stuff's all electric. Spain, you're thinking of Spain.
Yes.
Yeah, so they haven't approved that yet. They need to do testing. I know what you're talking about. So yeah, they have their Talgo trains, and when they first ordered them, they were Iberian gauge, but they're gauge changing. So they want the standard gauge change to be good for 186 miles an hour.
To be honest, and those locomotives are diesel electric with a crazy...
But only in the electric mode can get up to that speed. The diesel mode, I think it's only limited to like 100 or something.
Well, I know the 1 to 3 city, the inner city said that British can hit speeds up to 150 to 160. Let not forget that those suckers...
That was like a one-time thing, though, and it took forever to do that.
And no. Those train, they still use those trains, and they've been hitting that speed a lot for the last 4 years, man.
No, they're restricted to 125 miles an hour. It's HST 125.
But to be honest, dude, eventually Brightline is going to get there in Florida, It is going to happen no matter what, It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Maybe they'll add electrification on the Tampa section and order like the dual mode charger car that Amtrak's ordering, and they'll get all their locomotives like converted.
To be honest,
isn't the West Coast a lot less prone to
the West Coast?
Yeah, the West Coast Florida's a lot less prone to like hurricanes and stuff, right?
True.
that or they could just order some old ACS 64s from Amtrak.
To be
Because
honest,
Amtrak wants to get rid of half of them because Amtrak's stupid.
I know. Heck, a lot of commuter rail can, like, to be honest, small commuter rail can take it at a fighting chance, you know?
Well, the only people I think would take it is SEPTA because MBTA doesn't have anything electric yet because Amtrak charges a lot for electrification, like to use the electric. And that's why, that's stupid. They use EMUs. That's why Mark doesn't run the HHP very often because Amtrak charges a lot, although Mark is run by Amtrak, so I think that's kind of stupid.
I know, that is kind of stupid, you know, because...
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Metro North, New Jersey Transit and SEPTA have some deal where they pay for either the track or the catenary, and then I'm pretty sure the catenary and then Amtrak does the track.
I know. But it's kind of funny when you did think about it, you know what I mean? Like, literally kind of funny because Amtrak want to improve themselves, so they're going to have to, you know, do everything right because, to be honest, they're going to keep on hemorrhaging money if they don't stop, you know, treating Amtrak like, you know, at a freaking railroad instead of an airline, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you remember that?
Well, that's why I'm glad they're bringing back meal service and stuff. And some of it's state funding. Again, you don't have the Hoosier State. All the lounge cars near me, like I live on the Empire Line, there's no lounge car service or dining car service until you get past Albany because Amtrak won't pay for it.
To be honest, that was kind of sad on what happened, you know?
What, the Hoosier State?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. That was a good route too. Now Indianapolis gets like 6 trains a week total.
To be honest, that was freaking corrupt what happened. No excuse about it, but that was corrupt, you know?
Yeah, the state doesn't want to pay for it. I was like,
Like,
they're like,
heck,
okay, well.
And why in the heck would they pay for a flight, an airline flight to France, you know?
When I told you I went there, right? Yeah. They didn't have any foreign carriers there. I looked all over because I was like, wait, like, does Lufthansa fly here? And I only saw United, which it was like the smaller planes. Mm-hmm. Same with American and Delta, and then there was obviously like Southwest and whatever. But it was all like short haul stuff. It's like connect to like Chicago, and then like, so basically, if you want to fly to France, they just send you on a single ticket to Chicago, and then you get off that plane and get on like Air France or whatever and fly to France.
I know. But to be honest, like, it's kind of funny because they could have been helping their own people. And let's not forget that saved the oil company and a lot of them people who own car businesses there literally fought against, you know, commuter rail, you know?
I didn't know they had a commuter rail idea. They
did, but it got shot down to the ground, you know?
No, I didn't. It's interesting.
Like, even, like, have you watched Alan Fisher's most recent video?
No.
Alan Fisher, in one of his videos, talked about it and how the company, they don't want, you know, nothing else there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, Val, do you have a sticky pad? I kind of had a little oopsie with my case.
I don't have them.
I'm sorry, but to be honest, this is what I'll be honest about. Well, the airlines are crooked, you know?
I didn't hear you. What did you say? You cut out. My internet's not very good.
The airlines are crooked is what I'm trying to say, you know?
All big companies are crooked.
True.
Class ones are airlines are crooked.
Oh, that's true too, you know? No doubt about it.
Everyone just cares about short-term profits. Like, airlines would be so good right now if they, like, served, like, actual food, you know, they cared about the customers. No. How many seats could I sell on one airplane?
I know. And that's funny, you know?
Yeah. That's why I think rail has a chance, because the airlines just gone to shit.
Heck, and railroading out making a boom right now. Let's not forget that.
Well, yeah, that's the only reason that the airlines just don't care about their actual service.
Like,
All the like American carriers are getting rid of first class, and they're just two cabin configurations.
to be honest, I think that might be the bad move for the airline because, let's be honest, if the airline keep on doing what they're doing, we're going to be seeing the downfall of the airlines, you know?
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Like, flying airplanes pretty often. It's just terrible what they're doing. Like, they just don't care about the customers at all.
Like, they're going to go to the point where eventually it's going to eventually be bad news. And heck, Amtrak is making a killing right now how we speak, you know?
I wouldn't say that.
To be honest,
it's so sad what happened after Richard Anderson took over, because nothing's been the same at Amtrak. It's still like remnants of what he did, and it's like you can see it. It's just awful.
I know. To be honest, if Amtrak pulled their act together, they might be able to make some big comebacks, you know?
Yeah.
Heck, right now with, Pat and Rail Jordan is slowly make a comeback right now with people riding more trains now than ever. Did it literally Amtrak chance to fix their chance and do everything right, you know? Before it's too late, you know?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, Patent rail we need it in our country, you know? Like, we need commuter rail, patent rail, and yet our country have the capacity for it, you know?
Yeah.
And no one.
Yeah, we're the third most populous country in the world. And I hate people are like, oh, America's too big. Yes, I agree America's too big for rail everywhere, but we can use it in dense areas.
Like, literally, like, my city of Charlton, like, Jesus Christ, like, my city have a population of 300,000. That big enough for a commuter rail system, you know?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
You guys, do you have a light rail system at least, or
Nope.
something like that?
The Croton light rail system to my city is up in Charlotte, and that's a 4 to 5 hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to take a train from Charleston to Charlotte, at the capital of South Carolina, you would literally either have to go down to Georgia on Amtrak, take another Amtrak train from Savannah, Georgia, to Charlotte. You would literally have to take 2 trains, or you could go up to North Carolina and do it from there, you know?
Yeah.
It's that bad. Like, what are they thinking, you know?
I don't know.
And then we finally got one.
There's another problem: staffing and equipment. They're very short on equipment because, again, over COVID, when Richard Anderson took over, they let a lot of the equipment rot and sit and decay, and now they're not usable anymore. Some of them, or it's going to cost more money to repair them than just buying a new train car. And Amtrak will only buy from Siemens.
I know. Ugh.
I'm hoping Stadler makes some good American style rail cars.
I have an odd feeling that Sadler might be one that will fix stuff that Amtrak have a problem with, you know?
But yeah, again, there's a crap ton of single level stuff in Bear, Delaware. There's a crap ton of long distance or Horizon and stuff like that out in Beech Grove, and they're just sitting there doing nothing. They don't have equipment, but they have a bunch of locomotives that aren't up to date. It's awful.
I know, and thing is that I understand Amtrak trying to be compliant with the new laws. You know, let's be honest. The only reason they're doing it is they're trying to be compliant with the new laws. You know.
So I'm tired. What do you mean?
And the only reason Amtrak is doing it is because they're trying to be compliant with the new laws. You know what I mean?
What's the law?
The green laws, like being eco-friendly and trying to be more cleaner.
Well, they're doing fine with that. They would be doing fine if the Siemens stuff would be reliable. It's not. They're short on equipment because I can't talk. The old Talgo 6 train cars got retired, which actually, did I send you a picture? I got a builder's plate for one of the cars.
To be honest, though, Taco sets should have never been retired, you know?
No, they were really old.
They dated back from the 1990 or 1980s?
80s.
80s?
Early 80s. And
Oh.
the ones that are still were like late 90s, early 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So, wait, hold on. Let me check. I have the exact date it was built. Oh, let me check. I can turn my Xbox off and charge.
To be honest, like, there was another planned Tago set from Milwaukee to Chicago, but that one,
They are using, they're either selling that one to Nigeria, or that was the one they switched to the Cascade service because the crash happened.
No, those ones are being shipped to Nigeria.
Oh, that was canceled?
No, it was
Anyway,
not canceled.
Yes, okay. It was. Oh, wait, no. This was built in 1998.
Mm.
Oh, this was one of the ones in the crash.
Oh, so that one you have?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. Ooh. Well, I'm not gonna lie. That is kind of unsettling to know that, you know?
Yeah, I thought that was one of the. That's a Talco 8 builder. I thought it was a 6.
And that came from the train wreck that happened in 2018. Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, that's very unsettling.
Yeah. Just chilling here in my room.
Mm-hmm. But
I have a safety instruction manual, but I think that was from one of the 6 sets.
And I hate to say it, but that's what the train accident that done the Tago sets in, you know?
Yeah. Wait, what'd you say?
You remember that was the Tago that what one that done the Tago sets in, because after that they wanted those Tago set off the rails, you know?
Yeah. Well, I don't think it would just be that. They were getting... Well, that one... No, well, yeah, they're still running the type that crashed. It was the older ones that were built in the early 80s.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Val.
Oh, yeah, what was I going on about before I came in here and did that?
Oh, you don't know?
No.
Oh.
Oh, equipment shortage. Oh, so basically because of the Talgos.
It's not removable. It shouldn't be.
Oh.
My friend sent me some.
But
so because of the Talgos, they have Midwest cars out there, and they have a shortage of cars in the Midwest because the Siemens equipment doesn't work because I don't know why. They're just not built very good.
and then
They
what?
probably don't want the public knowing the reasons because then they'll be like, oh, this is unsafe or whatever the hell.
And
Yeah,
then
so they're on a complete shortage of cars. They're taking cars off of long distance trains to put on the Midwest trains. Like, usually the Lakeshore has, 4 coaches near me. It only has 2 because they took coaches and put them on, the Detroit trains or whatever because they don't have the equipment for them.
You know what crazy? Detroit used to have a commuter rail system until the 1980s. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I saw a video on that. Then Amtrak had plans to, take it over, and then it just never happened.
You know, funny thing is, I'll be honest, if that commuter rail had survived, it would have probably, put Detroit in a better place.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To be honest, if Detroit had that commuter rail system still to this day, it could have helped that city, you know?
Yeah. It's sad to see that city just go down so far. It used to be such a good city.
It had a population of 1 million people at one point, and now it have half of that, you know? It lost 50% of its population, you know?
Yeah.
That is startling to think about, and it all started when we started building everything around the car. Like,
Yeah.
and let not forget, Detroit was the first victim of car built infrastructure,
Yeah. Well, they built it themselves.
Like, and most people don't think about that. Like, literally, people don't realize that the car is the reason why Detroit is in a bad place as it is. Am I right?
Yeah.
Like, to be honest, Detroit should have been, in a way better place, but, Jane was destroyed at that it because of corruption and because of lies. They lost the commuter rail system. Heck, in the early 2010s and mid 2010, they tried to bring commuter rail back to Detroit, and it failed. And the reason why is because of a busing company from Chicago to the main city that it was going to connect freaked out and said that they did not wanted it, and it got killed off like that. To be honest, if you have commuter rail and people, and if they're opposite from it, like people who don't want it to happen, you gotta be worried about those people because let's be honest, those people, the only reason they're against it, if they look fancy and they look like they have a lot of money, that's a red flag, Like my point is that people are going against a project that would help out with a lot of people in fancy clothes. That's a red flag because they're only doing that to stop their money train from coming in, Like, literally. No reason commuter rail did not even get a chance to come back here in Toronto because of a lot of car company mechanics and all of that, like dealerships and all that.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like they talk about
dealerships around me are getting upgraded, like car dealerships.
Mm-hmm. Do you know how bad it would be if they built a commuter rail line right past Ogard dealerships?
No, there's an abandoned Conrail line right behind where I work, which is the car dealership.
But there
used to be commuter service on there from Metro North.
And then
Metro North abandoned, like the commuter train agency abandoned the line because they didn't think it was important, even though it very much is, because it's the only way to transfer equipment between lines without going down to New York City. So I think it was very stupid.
I know, and now they're trying to turn that into a rail trail. Am I right?
Yeah. They'd already turned a chunk of it into a rail trail.
Damn it!
But it was double tracked, so the track is still there.
But this is what I'm going to bring up. You might agree on me with it, or you might agree with me. Don't know what one you will think about. But did they ever talk about trying to bring commuter rail back to that area?
Yes. Metro North has talked about it, and Pop-Up Metro has talked about it.
But
I was gonna make a proposal on it, but I'm too lazy.
To be honest, the people who are dead against that are the same one who owned the car.
No one's against it. It's just it's gonna cost a lot of money.
Oh, Jane, stuff like that cost a lot of money up front, but in the long run, it will save you a lot of money in the long run,
Yeah.
If you want to save money, you gotta expend money,
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's better to go with the more expensive one because it will save you more money in the long run than the cheaper one, because going with the cheaper one will cost you more money in the long run. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I looked it up. The people who would be against that commuter rail line coming back are the dealerships and the mechanics. Because let's be honest, what people will be using cars, what people would be in frame of buying cars. Heck, car insurance businesses will be too, because let people be buying car insurance.
Mhm.
So that would be something else that would be screwing up the company there, and that another reason why they would not want commuter rail.
Mhm.
Like, most people don't think about that. You know what I mean? Like, I talked to a friend who lived up in Washington, D.C., who is now living down here, and he said that the car companies, like when it comes to dealership and mechanic shops, when it comes to something like light rail or commuter rail, they freak out about it because it can, dip into their way of making money, because it'll mean less people will be driving. You know what I mean? Less people would want to buy cars because they have something alternative that they can use for free or just $2,
Yeah.
And let's be honest, car dealership, mechanics, car insurance dividers, they're scared of that.
Well, yeah, because it's going to put them out of a job.
Bingo. Have you ever thought about that?
Yeah, but like people need to live. But I guess they can get jobs at the railroad, but the railroad has to hire them.
That, or they could do more different job, because not everything got to be.
Well, yeah, but if you're a mechanic, like you went to school for what? What do you go? You can work on trains as a mechanic. Like I don't think you're like go to like trade school to be a mechanic and then like do accounting.
That or electronical engineering. There are so many different things,
Yeah, but all that stuff goes with automobiles and stuff too, as well as trains and all other forms of transportation.
Mm-hmm. But there are so many variety out there, and people don't think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be honest, let's be honest, some of these car mechanics, they are just sketchy as can be.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a ton of big towns that could use commuter rail,
Yeah.
There are a ton of them across the country, And thing is that it would, improve quality of life. Let's be honest. People want quality of life and be able to do stuff without having to be able to pay out their behind for car insurance, gas, and all of that. Like, even Dimitri had talked about that stuff. And to be honest, when you did think about it, there is a deeper thinking that people don't realize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's mind-opening when you think about that stuff. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that I kind of started thinking about almost a year ago, The thing about getting older, you start realizing stuff that, companies and businesses don't want you to realize, And the company and business are scared of that,
Oh, wait, hold up. I'm sorry. Bright light reaches max speed for the first time. Hold up. This is important. It doesn't sound right. Hold up.
He did not find it out. Oh, yeah, I told you that earlier,
Yeah, I did. I thought they already. I'm so confused. Yeah, no, he's in fact cruising.
Yeah, you did not know that, didn't you? And
no, I didn't. I saw Roman Rail Fans video, and they were doing like 25, and I was like, oh, they're gonna go up like gradually every day. I didn't know they was gonna go up gradually the first day, just go straight for it. Goddamn.
Mm-hmm. You did not even know, and you thought I was just, guessing. I would not guessing. I was being serious earlier.
Alright.
But this right here is a big step for rail in the U.S., Then I'm going to bring it up. You remember when I was talking about that little commuter route operating that they're planning to do this summer up there in Maine?
Oh yeah, with the RDCs, I saw that.
To be honest, that
I was up in Vermont, and I saw a bunch of RDCs. Not a bunch, it's like 5, but like.
To be honest, this is another big step because it mean freight railroads are charging and thinking about getting back into passenger rail, and that's a good sign, you know. Like let's not forget that Smart in California does freight and passenger, and that in California. This is the second railroad in the U.S. that is not government owned that is doing it. I'm not counting the Alaska Railroad, even though that does freight and passenger too, that is owned by the state, you know, that is state-funded railroad.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, I zoned out a little bit. I was watching the video. What did you say before Alaska Railroad?
The Alaska Railroad does freight and passenger trains, you know?
Yeah, before that, I heard that.
I'm talking about the railroad in California, you know, the Smart Railroad.
No.
There's a railroad in California called Smart, and they do commuter and freight.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it will be a big comeback for private freight railroad to bring passenger service. But I think it's going to happen more as we go, you know?
If someone's brought up an economic benefit it brought, the freight railroads would be totally for it.
I know, and I think it's going to start with the small railroad first, you know?
It has to, because the Class 1s don't care.
The Class 1, eventually the Class 1s are going to see, and they're going to try to do what the other railroads are doing, you know?
Yeah.
But it's going to start with Class 3s first, then Class 2, and eventually the Class 1s, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to see how it play out, because we're already seeing how it's playing out in California with it pretty positive, and we're going to see how it play out up in Maine, you know? So that, and then eventually we're probably going to see it happen there in Vermont, you know?
Yeah.
Because if we see how it play out in Vermont, that's going to be another good sign.
I'm hoping Adirondack Scenic opens their passenger stuff again, because they haven't done that in a really long time. Short line up near me. You might have heard it.
Oh, I know, the Adirondacks.
Yeah, I would say it's a pretty popular one. The only reason I know it is, again, it's near me. I don't know a lot of short line railroads.
It's right there in New Hampshire. I know where it is.
The Adirondack Railroad's in New York.
Or New York, my bad. New York, my bad. Oh.
Yeah, you're thinking of the Hobo Railroad.
Yeah, that one, my bad.
Yeah, you're good.
But to be honest, I think it is a good step forward, if you know what I mean, you know? In the future, I hope that start popping up and making more and more known. Because that's something that I am hoping for. Like, you know what I mean, Gord?
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be a little bit of a tough uphill battle here in Charleston because, let's be honest, we got a ton of car NIMBYs here, you know, and suburbanites. So, bringing anything that is commuter rail oriented, you know you're going to have people fighting against it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And we have a crap load of car dealerships. We have a crap load of freaking, you know, I keep on forgetting what they're called, where you get your car repaired at. Mechanic shop. We got a crap load of mechanic shops around here. Heck, we even got that freaking BMW plant here, you know? They freaking build cars here in Charleston now.
It's interesting.
Like, literally, we got the BMW plant up there in not Walterboro, but Goose Creek.
Yeah, well, does it get freight service?
Well, they're talking about freight service because they're planning to build electric trucks now, too. And saying is that Charlton is grown with industrial, too, because we're right there near the coast. So we're literally transferring from farming to industrial. So we're going to be both industrial and tourism, you know?
Yeah.
So crazy stuff is just popping up, you know? But if we want to improve stuff, we're going to need to do a commuter rail here in Charlton. We can't keep you doing buses as a freaking Band-Aid. You know?
Yeah, well, I mean, buses are fine for, like, small towns. But, yeah, cities, you need LRVs or at least your trains.
I know. And Charleston, all we've been using is freaking buses. We're beyond the thing where we can keep using buses. Buses are not enough now, you know?
Yeah.
Because our population, when you don't count the tourists we get, when you count our population, we have 300,000. That's way too big for a bus system, you know?
Yeah.
That, when you start looking into commuter rail, we already passed the phase where we just skipped over light rail. We need freaking commuter rail, you know?
Yeah, I'd say around 250,000 is... No, I'd say 500,000 is commuter rail worthy, 250,000 is light rail worthy. But you're getting close, and again, you have a lot of tourists.
But
and you could prepare for the 500,000 benchmark.
Now, we're already skipping it because here, funny thing, saying this week, and I have not told anybody it yet, we did hit 350,000. So by the end of the year, we're going to hit the 400 mark.
Yeah.
So we got to start planning fast, you know? But it did crazy to think about it. And thing is, and here the mind-boggling part, when you count the amount of tourists we get per day in Charleston, that brings the people who are around Charlton up to 1 million.
Yeah.
Like, even though we have one of the oldest cities, we need to think about stuff it does. It's almost 1 million, you know? And that is startling to think about. But, yeah. Now, the second fast growing city in South Carolina is Greenville. And, you know, they did hit 300,000 this year, too, you know?
Yeah. The fastest growing city in New York, obviously besides New York City, is Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
And they used to have a transit system, and they got rid of it.
I know, and now they're regretting it, you know?
Yeah, now they're trying to redo it. Like, you dumbasses, what did you do in the first place?
Heck, that team, what happened to Charleston? Like, King Street. Have you ever heard of King Street?
No.
King Street is right there at the most popular area in downtown Charleston.
Okay.
They used to have a cable car or light rail track that went right down King Street all the way up to the courthouse.
Yeah.
And thing is, you've been able to take a cable car or streetcar from the courthouse and from the main building in the French Quarter to the Union Station. We lost our cable car system in the 1950s when GM, Ford, and Chrysler, all those big car companies, bought them all up.
Yeah.
Then, in the 1960s, we lost our commuter rail system. Like, literally, you've been able to take a commuter train from Charleston to Columbia and vice versa. And then we've been able to take train from downtown Charlton to where I live down here in Ravenel.
Yeah.
Also, it's just crazy to think about. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy to think about what we used to have. And it's just mind-boggling. Heck, the thing is that Amtrak back in 1972, when they did form, they were going to bring commuter rail back to Charleston. They were going to bring an inner city train that would have ran from Charlton to Columbia, and another one that ran from Charleston to Florence, and another one to Charlton to Walterboro.
Mhm.
And that got shot down to the ground. And then also, the Satan got burnt down to the ground too in 1972.
Yeah.
So, it's really infuriating when you did think about this. You know?
Listen, I'm gonna go to bed. Hopefully waking up a little bit early tomorrow, go see some CS6 trains or something.
Ooh.
And I have some other stuff to do.
I know, I gotta get ready for work. I got work at 12 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah.
But before you go to bed, we need to spread the word. You know what I mean?
What?
To bring back commuter rail, you know?
Yeah.
But
no, I agree. Any city with at least at least like 300,000 to 400,000 people that definitely deserve the commuter rail system.
I know, and
the council and the county council or government needs to support funding for it instead of other stupid projects.
I know, Whack. I'm going to bring up one project that they're doing that is just so fucking stupid. They're widening Interstate 26 from Charleston to Columbia to 6 to 8 lanes. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That is just fucking stupid.
Hmm?
But, yeah. If we do commuter rail, we could do an S-Bahn system like Germany. You know, like the S-Bahn system?
Yeah, I was thinking for the line near me, it would either be integrated with, like, I'm going to do the proposal at some point. I just want to stop being lazy. It's either going to be integrated with the CT rail / Metro North EMU stuff. It's going to start at New Haven. Oh, so here, I was doing phases. Phase 1, it would start in Beacon. It would be electrified at 25 kilovolts AC, 50 or 60 hertz, I don't care. Phase 1 would to be to Hopewell Junction, where it used to meet up with the Erie. So, and there would be 2 stops, one at Hopewell Junction, which is near me, and one in Fishkill.
What?
And then Phase 2 would be connecting it with the Harlem line. There would be 1 stop in Poquay, which is a somewhat decent-sized town, and then obviously Southeast, where it would meet up with Metro North, and it could run on the 3rd rail down to Grand Central. And then Phase 3 would be to Danbury, which has plans for future electrification, so it'd meet up there. And then the final phase would be connecting it to the Waterbury line and New Haven in Bridgeport.
Well, my plan for the commuter rail system in my city for Phase 1, we'll do downtown Charlton to Somerville for Phase 1, with a transfer stop for Amtrak in North Charlton, because the North Charlton Amtrak station are right there in the middle, so we can have a commuter train or like S-Bahn train coming from downtown Charlton to Somerville. Phase 2 will be to the airport right there, coming off the main line between the Amtrak station and from Somerville.
I feel like that should be the Phase 1, so that way you can get the ridership up from the airport to downtown.
Well, we could do all that in Phase 1. So scrap that. All that could be in Phase 1.
Yeah, that shouldn't take terribly long. And then
because there are already train tracks there, because you got the Norfolk Southern line right there that go right from downtown Charlton right smack dead through the middle of Somerville. The only problem is that if we're going to build a station, it's going to have to be under downtown Charleston, because where the original station is and where the tracks are, all that are covered up by buildings now that are stupid, you know?
Is the station still underneath the buildings?
No. It was above ground station. If we're going to build a new Union Station or a train station, it's going to have to be underground.
What about the Amtrak station?
It's right there in the ghetto area of Charleston, you know, North Charleston.
Right.
And it's right near the airport, but it take about 15 to 20 minutes by car to get to it.
Yes, it'd be a downtown, makes sense.
But it take about, from the airport to downtown Toronto, it take about 40 minutes, you know?
Mhm.
So that's a 40-minute drive from downtown Toronto to the airport.
They should make an extension tunnel after that to Mount Pleasant.
Now, thing is that when we come out from the tunnel from downtown Toronto, before we get to North Toronto, track will come above ground and connect up with the Norfolk Southern line coming from the port.
Yeah, the airport.
And then we're going to have to go over an intermodal facility to get to the Amtrak station, and then build another track to switch back onto the paper mill track to connect to the Norfolk Southern interchange to get it back on to Somerville. With that should be all very easy. I done looked up the area, and it should be easy build. And literally, and with that, we can build about 10 to 15 stations from downtown Toronto to Somerville. And one of them could be right there under the airport. But it will have a wide track where you can have train coming from Somerville to the airport, and then train coming from downtown Toronto to the airport, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Phase 2 will be from downtown Toronto to Goose Creek. Phase 3 will be from downtown Toronto to where I live down in Ravenel, with a stop right there in the edge of West Ashley. Phase 4 is going to be the hardest, because we're going to have to fight with the NIMBYs and suburbanites that live right there in West Ashley to build those tracks to head to California Dreaming, to build like another commuter branch. Phase 5 will be...
Would that line go all the way to Augusta?
No.
Georgia?
We used to have...
Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong line. I'm sorry.
The
I'm thinking Columbia, which would just be regional.
We'll have planned for a regional train with it down the line, but the tracks will already be there once we get the commuter rail system in. That line, I'm already thinking about a 4 to 5 track shape and platform under downtown Toronto and under Merriam Square. Am I right, Val?
I have to work.
All right.
That would be perfect.
All right. But yeah,
It's already 12.
All right, sorry, Val. But it's up that I will be thinking about, because it's up that could improve Charleston, you know?
You should get a proposal with a Google slides or something.
You're right, but we gotta get ready to go to bed. Val got work at 7 in the morning, and I got work at 12. So, and you gotta go to bed too.
Yep.
You gotta go in the morning.
Good night, man. Talk to you later. All right, that was Griffin, and me and Val gotta get ready to go to bed.
You
Sorry.
could have done it in the morning, really.
Griffin is busy in the morning.
Oops.
He would not be able to call Val, so it would better to get it out of the way. But I hope y'all enjoyed the live stream. I hope y'all thought we were talking about what interesting. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you guys later. Have a nice night, and have a nice spring break.
Peace.